That waitress sized us up in 2 seconds. We're black and black people don't tip. So she wasn't gonna waste her time. Now somebody like that, nothing you could do to change their mind.
So, how much did you leave?
You expect me to pay for that kind of service? What? What the fuck is you laughing at, man?
Check it out, you got me mesmerized with your black hair and your fat ass thighs. Street poetry is my everyday, but yo, I gotta stop when you drop my weight. If I was working at the club, you would not pay. Hey yo, my man Fife Diggy, he got something to say.
I like them brown, yellow, Puerto Rican, and Haitian. Name is Fife Dog from the Zulu Nation. Told you in the jam that we can get down. Now let's knock the roots like the group H-Town. You got BBD all on your bedroom wall, but I'm above the rim and this is how I ball. A gritty little something on a New York street. This is how I represent over this here beat. Talking about you.
Yo, I took you out, but sex was on my mind for the whole damn route. My mind was in a frenzy in a horny state, but I couldn't drop dimes cause you couldn't relate.
Relax yourself, girl, reset.
You couldn't relate.
Relax yourself, girl, reset.
You couldn't relate.
Relax yourself, girl, reset. Relax yourself, girl, reset. Relax yourself, girl, reset. Relax yourself, girl, reset.
Stretch out your legs, let me make you fall. Drive you insane, drive you up the wall. Staring at your known piece, very strong. Stronger than pride, stronger than Teflon. Take it on the Ave and you buy me links. Now I want a pound of Poontang until it stinks. You can be my mama and I'll be your boy.
I reminisce, so you never forget this. The days of way back, so many bear witness the fitness. Take the first letters out of each word in this joint. Listen close as I prove my point.
Hey, welcome to the Black Guy Who Tells podcast with your host Rod and
Karen.
And we have a very special guest in the house.
We do.
I guess technically not in the house, but he's in the podcast house.
Yes, he's in the podcast house.
Another member of the podcast chitlin circuit, as I like to call it.
Yes, and I think chitlins are nasty, but if you want to call it chitlin circuit, I'm cool with that.
I'm not explaining chitlin circuit again. Just another member of the podcast chitlin circuit. My man, Mr. Antagonist from the Player Hater podcast. What's up, man?
Yo, what's happening? I was laughing. I had to put myself on mute because that chitlin circuit shit made me laugh. Yeah, the chitlin circuit joint is something I came up with a while back because I gotta name this network of black podcasters something. You know what I mean? It's just like the old days when in the South when the black artists had to find places to entertain people that were safe. So, they couldn't just go anywhere. So, they formed their own little chitlin circuit with their audiences that really wanted to hear them. And as a bonus, you didn't get lynched afterwards. No, I know exactly what you were talking about. It's just the word chitlin was kind of
Alright, so you can find the Player Haters podcast by just searching Player Hater Podcast on Google, or you can go to MrAntagonist.com, spell out Mr, so it's M-I-S-T-E-R. I think he has a wonderful show.
I do too.
Karen and I listen to it. A lot of times we listen to it together.
Yeah.
It's just the right mix of it's poignant, but it's also funny, and it's always entertaining. And
it is.
Some of the shit that I hear come from people's mouths while they're talking about relationships is entertaining and infuriating at the same time.
And some of it's just sad that people even think like that. I'm like, man, y'all taking us back to 1952. I want my woman to be fully clothed. She can't go nowhere. She better not think hard. I'ma beat her. I'm like, what's wrong with you, brother?
They definitely go in on those shows, and I believe you calling them just Blog Talk Radio, right? You call it the Player Hater Tour. You call it the different shows.
Yeah, it's called a Hater Tour. I've been doing it for about a year now. I just go to blogtalkradio.com and see what shows are going to be on, what relationship shows are going to be on, and what times and what the topic is. And if I see something interesting, I'll call in. Sometimes it's a hit or miss, you know. Sometimes I call in and it's bullshit, so I tune right out. And other times I call in and they're talking about something we're talking about, so I just raise my little hand on Blog Talk. If you're familiar with Blog Talk, you know what I'm talking about. I raise my little hand and they bring me in, and then it's on from there.
So have you ever thought about changing it to the Player Hater Tour of Duty? Because it's like you going to war with a lot of stupidity out there.
It's not always a war. Sometimes. I would say if I had to break it down into percentages, I would say it's probably 70-30, in my opinion, because I'm having fun with it. I mean, I don't get upset over any of that bullshit. So, I mean, anybody who, it may sound like I'm being combative or it's a war, but it's really not. I mean, I'm just passing along my views of whatever. And most people, by the end of it, most people, if you listen to it, and I know you do, most people end up agreeing with me. Not always, and it's not my point. Trust me, I don't set out to try to get everybody to agree with me, not at all. I'm just trying to get my point across. And if you happen to agree, fine. If not, then I would love to hear your perspective on it.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I can tell that most of the time because you're coming from a pretty common sense point of view, and it seems like most people at the core would want to be sensible. But, you know, with relationships and emotions, things happen, things scar people, and they lose their objectivity. You know, it's almost like...
That's just it. Yeah, and that's just it. I didn't mean to
go ahead.
That's just it. Yeah, dudes and chicks, they get too emotional over this bullshit, and that's a part of my point. You can have a rational discussion without getting emotional. Trust me, I never get emotional. I may get louder in my voice, but I never get upset. Never, ever. I walk away from that shit feeling fulfilled, you know, because I got my point across. I found out how they felt, and I move on. I never get mad over that bullshit. And I think a lot of people, that's where they make their mistake in relationships and in relationship discussions. They get too fucking emotional. And really, I mean, pull yourself within yourself. Calm the fuck down and be able to get your point across in a relationship or just in a discussion, because you lose yourself. Once you get upset or get mad, it's over. That's it. You lost yourself. Anything you say after that most times doesn't make any sense because you're too busy yelling and trying to get your point across and talk on top of the other person. And I don't get involved in discussions like that because I've lost that person. They've lost me, and all they want to do is talk louder than me and try to get their point in, and nothing's going to be accomplished. So I don't even get involved in discussions like that. You have to control your emotions and be able to say what it is you want to say and express yourself, minus emotion.
Right, I agree with that. Plus, once that happens, that's normally when people just want to hurt you. They just want to say
they say
something.
The meanest and the nastiest, most vile stuff, because that's something me and Roger talked about, because I love my husband, and when you really love somebody, the last thing you want to do is hurt them. So why should I hang you out to dry and show everybody how deep I can cut you publicly? That's not showing affection and love to me.
Yeah, and, you know, I guess this is the longest intro ever because we haven't done any of the other plugging stuff. Alright, so you can comment on our podcast by going to iTunes, Podomatic, or Facebook.
Yes.
Search for The Black Guy Who Tips. That we have our episodes on our Facebook page, Podomatic page, and on iTunes you can leave reviews. Just leave us a comment. We always do feedback on Saturdays, and we interact with our fans. You can leave us a voicemail by calling 704-557-0186. And we will answer your voicemail. We will play it on the air. And, of course, the unofficial sport of the podcast is...
Bullet Ball.
And
Bullet Ball Supreme.
Extreme.
Oh, Extreme. Supreme, my bad. I'm messing the song up.
And the official weapon of the podcast is...
The taser. We will tase you.
Yeah, so now that we got all that out the way... let's do some podcasting.
Yes, and we wanted you to know we are not talking about relationships, right? Say we gonna talk about everything else with you, but relationships.
Yeah.
What's up, my baby?
Yeah.
What's up, baby?
Yeah.
Oh, what up? It's your show. Whatever.
Yeah, because, you know, like, everybody gets, if you listen to the Player Hater podcast, you learn his opinion on relationships, but you don't really learn much about his opinion on other things, because, it's the theme of his show.
Yeah.
So, I was really looking forward to getting him online with us, just so we could talk about stories and other topics, just to see
what you think about it. Yes.
Alright, so I had some random thoughts before we get into the news stories and stuff. If everybody agrees, the consensus is that a lot of Indian people smell like curry. Right?
Curry?
Yeah.
The
Curry.
spice?
The spice, yeah. Not Native American Indian people, but like Indian people, you know.
Oh.
Like on the show Outsourced.
Oh, the people that do the dots in their forehead?
Yeah, some of them do the dots.
Okay.
Yes. If we all agree that they smell like curry, remember that lady who used to live next door?
Yeah, she cooked with curry.
Right. Then, what do you think they taste like?
I'm assuming you are what you eat, so curry.
I don't know, man. I was just wondering.
Well, at least that's what they tell you in school. I said, at least they tell you in school you are what you eat, so I'm assuming curry and rice. I'm not really sure about that question. This is not my racism coming out for those of you who think I'm racist. No, it's not.
Okay. Player Hater, you got anything to chime in on that one?
Yeah, I would agree with Karen. I'm sure they taste like lamb and curry and goat.
And the chicken.
The cheese. Yeah, cheese, spinach, and all. I love Indian food, by the way. I mean, that's everything I just mentioned is some of my favorite things I order when I go there. So I'm pretty sure those smells will emit from their body because that's what they eat. So yeah, you'll be tasting all of that shit if you eat.
So if we go cannibal, I think I'm going with I'm gonna eat Indian people, and I'm gonna get some naan bread, and I'm gonna go to town, man. Sounds like that's the way to go.
Are you sure? I like chicken, so I guess I'll be eating black folks. Because we eat a lot of chicken.
You think we taste like Texas Pete?
Yes, we taste like chicken. With a side of Texas Pete. That's what we taste like. And probably chitlins too.
I hope not. I'm not eating no down south niggas. I'm going up north.
You want the chicken breast. You want the lean folks.
Alright.
Get some Jamaicans in there too.
Yeah, yeah, some of that Jamaican jerk.
That would be delicious.
And
with a side of iced tea.
For the weed as well, you get some of that residual weed smoke too.
Oh, that's good or bad.
They just make you hungrier.
Yeah, I might be eating them kind of slowly. You don't get no motivation when that stuff happens.
Yeah, I hope they don't drug test at your job if you eat Jamaicans. Assuming we still have jobs in the cannibalistic society.
I know, right?
Sorry, so back in the day, before TMZ and, the paparazzi and the invasive media, the presidents could just make up anything. Like, there was no real documentation keeping track of these guys' lives. So, I was thinking about some of our old presidents, and I wonder if that's how we came up with, like, Honest Abraham Lincoln, or George Washington cannot tell a lie even though he chopped down the cherry tree. Like, nobody could verify that shit. You could just make that shit up and run for president.
I'm confused. So, this is before documentations and people started writing stuff down.
There was no cell phone camera. I mean, there's no proof that any of these dudes did this shit.
Most of them couldn't write, so yeah, I understand. Yeah, I think they just made stuff up, whatever sounded good, whatever rhymed. Remember, it had to rhyme.
And what made me think about it is, there's the political season is going on right now, and when they started pulling out, old clips from, I can't remember her name, but the lady in Delaware who won, who's running on the Tea Party platform, and they're pulling out clips from when she was like 17, going on Bill Maher's show, saying dumb shit. I mean, she was fucking 17.
Yeah.
I said, if you could track the shit I said at 17.
Say that again.
You
have a long list of crimes.
This shit I said yesterday, I couldn't run for president.
So I know they were like, Roger Morrow, strike through that list.
So, it just made me wonder, I wonder if any of that shit was true. Cause, you just make up some fucking story. I cut down a cherry tree, my dad came out and said, who chopped down a cherry tree? And I said, I cannot tell a lie. And that's why I should be the fucking president. Because at 5 years old, I didn't lie to my father. And that somehow has lived on for 200 years. That's amazing, dude. Anyway, that was just a random thought. So I was grilling ribs Friday.
Okay.
You grill out, you get on the grill at all, Mr. Player Hater?
Yeah, I do occasionally. Yes, sir.
Alright, I'm kind of a novice with the grill. I just go out there, throw something on, take it off. I don't claim to be any type of grill man extravaganza or whatever.
I'm the griller. I like to grill.
So
There you go.
alright, so I got my ribs out. I think there was ribs.
Yes.
Alright, they got some ribs out, and I was gonna grill them, and I hit up Twitter for advice, which I always say you should never do, but I did it for fun. I was bored. Karen was out getting her hair done, and I didn't have shit to do, so I said, let me talk to these confused motherfuckers and see how many contradictions I can get in one day. So, I pulled my ribs out, and they looked a little greenish.
That's not good.
That's not good?
No.
Well, I didn't get sick. So
You want to be red as possible. The redder the better.
I thought green means go.
No, not in this case. It means go to the bathroom. It don't mean to go you talking about.
Well, I blame Dr. Seuss for that shit, because green eggs and ham is what I was raised on in the books. And that dude, everything turned out, he went to the ends of earth to eat his green eggs and ham, so.
Man, if I see some green eggs, there's something terribly wrong with that chicken. Eggs are not supposed to be green. They're supposed to be white and yellow.
So, alright, here's my question. Karen, I guess you're here now, so you can answer. My man, Mr. Player Hater, he grills out, he says, so. How the fuck do you grill ribs? Like, I wanted to barbecue the ribs. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna throw my shit on there, cook them, and then when they get close to done, slap some barbecue sauce on them, turn them over, slap some more barbecue sauce on them, take them off before the shit catches on fire, because barbecue has sugar and shit in it, and it'll catch on fire.
It will burn.
That was my theory.
Yes.
Man, somebody told me to parboil the ribs. What does that mean?
And some people do that. I've did that before. I think the ribs you had didn't have bones in them, did they?
No, they were boneless.
Okay, but that's what people do when people have ribs with bones. They actually boil them. So when they put them on the grill, it takes less time. And they're probably talking about the beef ribs, which are larger than the pork ribs, which, more bone, more meat. So a lot of people pre-boil it, so when you grill it, it doesn't take as long.
Okay.
But yours didn't have bones in it, so that would have been irrelevant.
Okay. And then, like, how do you put the barbecue sauce on? Do you put it on the beginning? Do you put it on the end? Do you cook them all the way through? Take them in the house and put it on there? How do you do it?
I know for me personally, I cook them till they're about done, and maybe like the last 5 minutes, because like you said, the sugar from the sauce will caramelize and it will burn, and your ribs will taste nasty.
Okay. What about you, Mr. Player Hater? How do you get down on your ribs?
Hey, let me say one thing. I'm not a grill master at all. I mean, I get out there on the grill, and if I fuck it up, doesn't matter. I'm still going to eat it.
I feel you on that, but mine is just...
It's trial and error, man. There's nothing conventional about me at all. I mean, I experiment with shit all the time, so I can't give you the advice as to the right way to do it. Shit, the right way to do it is cook it till it's done and eat it.
Okay, cool, because that's what I did, and that shit was delicious.
I'm glad you...
Karen came home, she had some. You didn't say nothing bad about it.
No.
So fuck the internet. I was right. And I didn't get sick, so the green shit must have been something else. I don't know what was up with the green.
At least it all went green, so...
No, it was only on the fat.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means, though. I cooked the shit out of them ribs, though, just in case. Just in case. Alright, man, so...
Hey, can I point something out?
Yeah.
Hey, let me point something out. I mean, all of my shit's gonna go back to relationships, because that's mainly what I talk about. That's what I talk about. But I want to talk about this, because I thought it was interesting, the fact that Rod's not a grill dude. I'm not necessarily a grill dude either, but Karen was like, oh, that's my shit. I can do that.
Yes. We got the grill for me. I was so excited when he got the grill. I was like, hey, we got that grilling. Hey, that's really my heart. And he doesn't grill that much, but he's getting better at it, but that's my thing.
Yeah, now I will say this. I have never fucked up anything on the grill.
Oh, no.
But at the same time...
I messed some stuff up.
But at the same time, I'm not out there as much.
Yes, and I almost blew myself up the first time I tried the grill. By accident, though. I'm glad they got safety features from the kids. They were made for people like me.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think that's true. No, I think it's cool. The fact that it doesn't really matter who's cooking as long as she can cook. Now, what about cooking in the house? Rod, do you chip in? I know you do. I don't even know why I'm asking, but I just want to put it out there.
Yeah.
I can throw everybody else in. I'm just assuming Rod wouldn't have any problem getting in the kitchen and cooking and Karen chilling or whatever y'all take turns.
Yeah, it's really no problem, man. It's the way I see it is whoever's hungry, you know what I'm saying? The onus is on you to take care of shit. So whether you want to go out and get something or you want to hop in that kitchen, no problem. And, you know, obviously, we kind of share household duties. We don't have a yard, so we're still in the apartment. So, you know, I always end up washing and drying the clothes or something like that. Doesn't bother me, but I don't really have that, you know, that type of macho ego where it's like, no, the man does this shit, the woman does, like, who gives a fuck, man? I just want to be happy.
And at the end of the day, we both live here. We both got dirty drawers. We both get hungry. We both have nasty plates. I mean, you know what I'm saying? People, I don't understand. Maybe it's just me, and because I've been with him so long, I don't understand that logic. We're in this together. What about together don't you understand? And it's almost like if it needs to be done, so be it. If the dishes need to be put in the dishwasher, whoever sees it, that's who does it. If the trash needs to be taken out, whoever sees it. I don't really think chores around the house has a male or female gender to it. Maybe that's just me.
Mm-hmm. Right. No, I agree with you. I talked about it before. I think a lot of people, see, you guys are comfortable with one another. First of all, you're comfortable with yourself, which is moving forward, and you're also comfortable with one another, and it shows through your relationship and the way you deal with one another and just people in general. So people who are comfortable with themselves, it comes through in every aspect of your life. And people who aren't comfortable with themselves, they're the ones, in my opinion at least, who feel the need to have to prove who they are by what they do. This whole men take out trash shit and women cook shit, I'm like, okay, really? Come on. We know you're a dude. You don't have to prove that you're a dude by taking out the trash, because that's not going to prove your manhood. I've said it before. It's only going to prove that you know where the trash can is. So people like that, in my opinion,
yeah, I agree, man. And the thing is, dude, like, man has been grilling since the dawn of time. You know, you put fire to meat, it really is not that big of science. You know what I'm saying? So to try to turn that into only a man can do that shit, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, come on, anybody can put fire on some fucking meat and have it work out. As long as that shit tastes good, you will never catch me complaining.
And the thing that's most ironic, some of your best chefs in the world are men, but in most of your households, women do the bulk of the cooking. I just think that's ironic.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. And you know, the thing is, man, when I look at food, I feel like, hey, I cannot let this food defeat me. Okay? I can't let these ribs punk me into not waiting till I gotta wait till Karen gets home to cook. I'm a fucking man. And I gotta grill these things, man. I'm a human being. I respect myself. How would I look being like, you wasn't home, so I didn't eat? That's what
I was about to say. Yeah. Make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
He's sitting there hungry. He's sitting there with the white mouth waiting on Karen to get home because he didn't know how to put grills.
Yeah, hey, if you black, grilling ribs should be in your DNA anyway. It's not even a choice.
That and chicken.
So, we had this thing that we do on Twitter that some of the people I follow, we do what we call Simping Saturday.
Yes.
And that's whenever you see a woman in your timeline say something, you come up with a response that is very simptastic or very, you know, some people might peg it as romantic, but actually the more begging and pathetic it is, the better the response. So, I started following this dude on Twitter named Soul Cool J. And his tweets were hilarious, and I don't think he was trying to be funny. What he would do is, say it was Friday, he was like, follow this lady, you know, follow Friday, and it would be some woman, and then he would compare her to some type of dessert or candy or something like that. And yeah, it was fucking weird. It was very weird.
Wow.
I found it to be probably the funniest thing I've read on Twitter in a very, very long time. But I was at work, so I couldn't really reply or, you know, make jokes about it. So instead, I had to wait till I got home Friday evening.
Oh.
And so when I got home Friday evening, I turned into the Simping Hulk. Like if I was David Banner at work, I was the Hulk. And when I got home, and I started responding to every chick on my timeline and saying, you know, follow this chick. And then I would basically say, compare them to some type of food. and then throw in a lot of adjectives, you know, and to explain it. And I got a lot of people seem to enjoy that. I don't think I could do it again because it's very time intensive. But it was a good time though, man. And that's another good thing about Karen is she's not taking that shit serious.
Oh no.
Because I mean, honestly, I'm not.
I wouldn't even want you to do that to me because you'd be like, follow my wife. She's the sleepiest nigga I know.
Nah, you're half the podcast. But I got a couple examples from what I wrote. I said, follow Zerlina M for an erotic seduction of poached skinless salmon topped with political cucumber sauce of divine grace.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got the food. It's basically adjective food.
Oh, that made me want some of that.
Yeah, most people hit me up and said I'm hungry. Not that this is sexy at all.
Yes, I was like, where can I get that? Yes, can I get some political cucumber sauce? Do you make it from scratch? That sounds delicious.
Let's see. I said follow Miss Peachy Wet, who I apparently just met that day. Because she thought my timeline was good, so she followed me. And I said follow her because if you're man enough to withstand her fiery hot sauce tweet sprinkled liberally over passion-fueled fried chicken.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about.
Who would not follow that?
Who would not want to eat that chicken? What are you talking about? Oh, that sounds delicious. Fiery hot sauce. Passion chicken.
Now, player hater, are these tweets making you want to follow these women, or are you just getting hungry? I want to know.
Yeah, I would say the latter. I definitely want to eat after reading those ones.
It's like, yes, where can I get that tantalizing menu?
So,
you thinking about food?
Yes. Yes.
This whole podcast has been food related. Even eating people. So let's keep it going with the food.
Yes.
I went to IHOP this morning.
Oh, that new IHOP?
Yeah, the one that they built in like 3 days.
Yes.
And I was surprised because when I opened the door, it didn't like shake or fall apart or anything.
Sure, ain't made out of kids Lego blocks. They put that thing up in like 2 days flat. I said, y'all already open?
And so, IHOP is, of course, not the fanciest of restaurants, but the one we were at was a really nice IHOP because it's in a nice neighborhood,
yeah.
Nice area. So, they had a guy standing outside dressed as a fucking pancake.
A pancake?
Dancing around.
Did you take a picture?
I did take a picture and I put it on Twitter and said, this is the best like stay in school ad I've ever seen.
Kids, this is a public service announcement. Get your education or you will be dancing like a pancake. Which is not good.
So what?
Now wait a minute now, our brother could have been a part-time pancake. Maybe he's got a full-time gig. It wasn't the weekend now. Come on, now this is
At least he didn't have maple syrup with him, so he wasn't that bad.
He's like, I got plans. I'm enrolled in Phoenix University, man. This shit is just trying to get over to the next thing, man. But so they had somebody over there, pancake garb, and they were of course getting harassed by little kids. And
you know they was.
One of the little kids, and I don't know if this is a cultural thing or what, but it was this like white boy, and he was probably about 4 to 5 years old. He was in his fucking pajamas in public. Is that common? Because I don't think I've ever seen that.
They was like, look, we're not gonna take the time to wake you up because nobody want to hear you scream. So we just keep your clothes on and bring you out to eat.
I don't think I've. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
How old did you say he was? Roughly how old did you say?
I would say 4 or 5.
He was old enough to walk.
Old enough to walk. Was walking on his own, fucking with the pancake man.
He needs to be enclosed. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was the only one. I was looking around trying to make eye contact with some other black people to see if they was as outraged as I was.
At 4 or 5, nigga, you gonna be wearing clothes. In fact, 5, you gonna be putting on your own clothes.
I wonder, do you think white people know about our black eye contact thing that we do whenever we see some crazy white shit in public?
I have no idea. No idea.
Every black person does that shit. Like I'll be at,
I just nod my head. I understand.
Yeah, you can be somewhere where you've never even met these people before, and like you just in a restaurant or something, you see like a kid like yelling at his mama and his mama don't do anything, and you make eye contact with another black person, it's always like, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
Couldn't be mine.
That's what I'm talking about, right? And when they're shaking their head and giving the eye contact, what they're saying in their head is, see, that's what I'm talking about, right?
This is why I whoop ass. This is why I whoop ass.
Exactly. That's why we whoop ass. Exactly.
So, it's a new restaurant, you know. What is it about new restaurants where they always send a lot of people over to your table all the time? Mm-hmm. Like the manager comes over, the shift boss comes over, waiters that aren't your fucking waiter come over. Like,
I love new restaurants, man. You get the best service when they brand new.
Yeah, I felt like a
king. You
get
too much service sometimes.
But at one point in time, I could not bite into my food because every time I got ready to take a bite, somebody came over and asked me how it was.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, can I get a couple bites in and then we can decide, we can have a conversation. Right now I have nothing to input on my side of the conversation. It's just put my fork down and then somebody comes over like, how's that omelet? I don't know. Give me like a minute. Come back.
Hey, Rob.
Yo.
Hey, let me ask you something, because obviously the black guy who tips would lead you to believe, and I'm sure it's true, that you are a brother who tips when you go out to eat. So let me ask you this. How do you feel about the whole tipping situation, and what prompted you to emphasize that point and even name your show that?
Well, one, black people in tipping is such a highly debated topic.
Yeah.
And, I realized, you know, just through this old message board, SOHH, that I used to go on, you know, it would come up over and over, black people don't tip. And then you see a rush of people that were like, well, I know that a lot of black people don't tip, but I do. I know that, you know, and it's always, you know, what came first? Was the waiter treating you like shit, or is it that you don't want to tip? Because I think every black person shares that in common, where you've gone in a restaurant and you have been treated like shit. And you were like, I'm not leaving them a tip. And I guarantee you, if you've ever worked in the waiting industry, you've been on the other side where you were like, that nigga ain't gonna tip me. You know what I'm saying? So it goes both ways. And I just thought that it's such a controversial thing that when people say no black person tips, I wanted to be like, well, I'm the one that does. So, you know, let's just squash that.
And a lot of times we actually over tip. Like, I've actually been in places, ate by myself, and left like a $5 tip, and my meal may have been $7, $8.
Yeah, I did that this morning.
And the dude was like, hey, you gave me too much money. I was like, no, I didn't. You sure? I was like, yeah, because me and him have both been on the other side as far as waiters, and I've worked with people that have said black people don't tip, and I've told them, if you gave better service, they tip you better. Because I mean, I would tell them, look, I've seen your customer service, it sucks. You know, I would want to pay you.
Yeah, that could be true. That could be true. But sort of like Rod said, too, I somewhat agree with both of you, but Rod made a good point. Some people, black people going in, already have it in their mind that they ain't going to tip on, either they're on the fence. Right. And it takes usually one negative thing, and it may not even been that much, for them to decide, oh, hell no, I ain't giving them no tip. Oh, hell no. See, I knew it. See, that's what I'm talking about. So, I mean, they go in with the attitude that it's only going to take one thing for them not to give them a tip, and the reason that is because the motherfucker want to tip anyway. He's just looking for an excuse.
Yep.
Yes, and then not only that, me and Roger have talked about this to an extent. I think it's also a culture thing, because a lot of black people, you know, they don't understand that everywhere's not like McDonald's. Everywhere's not like, you know, Burger King. Some places they actually are doing work, and so it's hard for people who haven't been brought up tipping to start tipping, because they've never been on the other side when you're making $2.13 an hour. So they don't understand that this is how people make their income. But I agree with what you're saying, though.
And I think that it really shows through, because a lot of times young kids don't tip. And if you really want to see a demographic of motherfuckers that don't tip, watch some high schoolers go into a restaurant. I guarantee you're gonna be like,
they gonna run you to death.
Are they really not leaving anything on the table? Yeah. Because, and it's like you said, it's cultural, because at high school you haven't really had a job yet. No. You don't really understand work and bills and shit. So a lot of times you're just like, you know, I paid the price I see on this menu, plus tax, and then I'm walking the fuck out.
Yeah, now you do have something to do though. You know, those are people whose parents have really instilled it in the tip, and they will get on to other people to tip.
Yeah, I mean, you would hope so. I mean, there's, and that's the thing, we're talking in generalities. Of course, there's exceptions.
Yeah.
But I would say, you know, with the black people thing, it's very, complicated and whatnot because of your cultural variances, because of just class and money. You know, you know, it's hard to come up from.
It's complicated, right? You say it's complicated, but really it ain't. It's very simplified. If motherfuckers were taking out to dinner with their parents, they see how tipping it works.
Yeah.
So those tend to be the people who, once they grow up and become adults and they understand that tipping is the way to go, then that's something they do. Motherfuckers who've never been out to dinner with their parents and cook their own meals, and the parents probably ain't home when they get home. Yeah, they don't understand the whole tipping principle.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's real simple. It's not as complicated as some people may think. If you were taking out to dinner when you were younger and you saw your parents tipping, odds are you're going to tip. If your parents didn't tip, odds are you ain't going to tip because it's typically the way it works.
You get it from home first. The only things I would throw in there that I say kind of complicate situations is the racial factor, because I think black people, when we don't get good service, we immediately have the paranoia of, is this shit happening to me because I'm black? And then whatever response you get from that can sometimes randomly vary in the community. But most people, if you get a feeling like, I know these motherfuckers ain't coming over here because I'm sitting at a table and it's, you know, nothing but I'm black, all the white people getting food, that motherfuckers will flip the fuck out. I've been in that situation a few times, and those are probably the only times I've ever walked out or not left a tip. Those are the only times.
Yeah.
But
but that's typically right. But those are isolated incidents.
Exactly.
So I understand what you're saying. It's trust me, bad service is bad service. I've had this discussion before. But and not you, but if people go in with the attitude thinking that it's that they're being personally persecuted, like they're doing this to me because I'm black, or they're doing this to me because whatever. I mean, then you that's strike one already. So it's not going to take much to set that person off and make them not tip.
Yeah.
But if you go in with the attitude of, okay, maybe that person is having a bad day, or maybe they are racist, but it's okay, I'm going to give them a tip anyway. You know, it just depends on how you personally choose to handle that situation, because I don't look at everybody as being, you know, out to get you. I don't personally.
Me neither.
I mean, but there are incidents where somebody just for whatever reason is mean to you, and I handle it accordingly, you know. But more than likely, I will end up giving them a tip anyway, because of just, I have to be the bigger person. You know, okay, fine, you had a bad day, but I'm not going to let that affect me doing what I normally do, so here you go. And I'll walk away feeling better rather than saying, oh, fuck that nigga, I ain't giving him a goddamn thing.
Yeah, you know, it's weird because that actually brought up 2 points for me. One, I'm a lot like you. I actually have overtipped people who gave me shitty service.
Yeah.
Because one, I thought maybe they were doing it because they were like, black people don't tip, and it was my small way of feeling like the bigger man and feeling like, hey, I might have made the world better today. I might have showed that motherfucker whatever. But in the end of the day, I might have rewarded him for being racist. But, you know, so I feel a little bit like a bitch, but a little bit like, hey, you know, I showed him that the world's not perfect by giving him money or whatever. But the other thing, though, is, and this is an interesting dynamic, and this causes all cultural, racial lines, whatever, people who do not feel empowered in their lives a lot of times take it out on waiters and people who have to do jobs for them that customer service. Like, this is the reason so many people get shitty with customer service and those people who call your house to sell things. It's the reason that when I worked at McDonald's, you know, I saw a man throw a bag of fries at a dude's face because there was no ketchup. Now, what that dude can do, like, he personally said, I'm gonna run out of ketchup on your order. You know, like, but it's that they know you're making $4.45 or whatever the fuck, and they know that you can't do shit. And it's the one place where, you know, he might get treated like shit in his house, he might get treated like shit in his job, he might, you know, go to the basketball court, he might got dunked on that day. But the one thing he can't control is flipping the fuck out on a 15-year-old working register at McDonald's.
Yeah, and the funny part about it is that when people do that, I think the best thing for them to do is size you up, because you might catch that 15-year-old that don't really care and might whip your ass for throwing some fries that deal, and you gonna wish you'd have kept your fries in the bag. Cause everybody don't function with it. They say, yes, boss, I want to do my job.
Yeah, people ain't stupid. It's like they know who to fuck with and who not to fuck with. But also it's that bully mentality. It's like you're going to take out all the frustrations of your day, against this one person who had nothing to do with anything. And, I mean, come on. By now, I'm too logical for that. I understand it happens a lot. But I don't agree with it at all, because why are you going to take out your first... And let me even stop. I'm not even going to say a lot because it's too logical. But, yeah, people do it all the time, and I think it's wrong. Yeah. But it's also a sign of immaturity and a lack of self-control. I mean, really, direct that anger at who you're really angry at. I'm thinking on a 15-year-old kid, like you said, making $4 whatever an hour. He had nothing to do with you being upset when you came in here. Just go grab you some ketchup and go to run.
Yeah, and the waiters are the fuck. I don't know if you've ever waited tables or done anything in that service industry, but the waiters. I was a waiter for a long time. Karen was a waiter. You are the fucking stepchildren of the industry. You don't even make minimum wage. Mm-mm. You rely completely upon your customer for your fucking check.
Yes, sir.
And God forbid, you don't make enough tips where the company has to cut you a check on payday.
Yeah.
Because basically what happens is if you make a certain amount of tips, the company is not responsible for paying you anything.
No.
So if you claim over minimum wage, they basically say, look, you get a zero amount check.
Yep.
Now, I've worked at restaurants where I've accurately reported my tips.
Me too.
And I would have got a check. And they came to me the next week after I got my check and was like, you need to start reporting more of your tips. And I was like, well, I reported everything. Well, you need to claim enough to where you don't get a check. They don't want to give you shit. And when you're a waiter, you don't respect yourself. And your company doesn't respect you. Customers, for the most part, don't respect you. So they can just sense that weakness, and that's why they fuck with you so much. So anybody listening to this that is a waiter, I guarantee you cried at work. I guarantee it. I guarantee you've been angry at work before, to the point of wanting to quit or some shit. Do yourself a favor. Get the fuck out of that industry. Either go to school. You're not doing yourself any favors. You're not gonna get rich. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. And hey, while we on this theme, I'm not trying to take over your show, but it just raises an interesting point. Because I've talked about this before, and I've heard comedians talk about it. When you take a chick out to dinner, it could be a first date, it could be a woman actually, and you take a chick out to dinner, and some women, and I'm saying this because I've experienced it in my life, I'm not disparaging women, but some women are picky as hell, and they like to be catered to and spoiled when they go out to dinner. And I took this one chick out, and she, I'm real simple. I like order what the fuck I want, and then I eat it, and I'm out. But she was very picky and was complaining about the food and constantly just was always having something to say. And needless to say, I didn't take her out anymore, but this one particular time, it was hard to deal with. And I'm a very sympathetic person to people who serve because I know they have to put up with a lot. And that's why I try to simplify things as much as possible, and I try to be as personable as possible. I'm calling them by their first name, and I'm tipping them when I leave. But I'm wondering, what is that? I mean, what causes that to happen? Some dudes and chicks, but we're talking about chicks right now, who just have that sense of entitlement where they feel like going out to dinner is a special occasion for them to be treated and spoiled. Karen, what's up with that?
For me, I personally think that it kind of goes back to that entitlement thing. It's almost like I'm going out to a nice restaurant, so my meal better be perfect. And I've always felt like this. If you want your eggs kind of halfway scrambled, eat it at the house. Prepare it yourself. I hate to be like that because when you're dealing with people that are cooking mass amount of food, you are never going to get your food like you make it at home. And it's nothing worse than going out with somebody. Well, I could have made this better at home. Nigga, stay at home then. Why come out to eat with me? Because you ruin it for everybody.
The other thing about people like that, men and women, typically they have never worked in the service industry.
No.
Like, that's what happens when you don't respect things you don't do. Like, it's like everybody should probably have to be forced to do a year as a waiter, and everybody should be forced to do like a year at working at McDonald's and a year in the armed forces, and then people will have more fucking respect for each other.
And compassion. We've actually got stuff for free for being patient. One time we went to like AutoZone, and we was getting something real small. It was like $5 or $6. And when the dude got up there, he was like, wait a minute, my machine down. So we was waiting, the magic came, they was having all these problems. And he was like, I apologize. We was like, cool, we ain't got no problems. Then after we finished, he was like, you know what, y'all was so patient, y'all can have it for free.
Yeah. People just have no fucking humility, man. It's disgusting. Yo, so my last random thought before we get into the news. Is it me or do the babies on Maury look like everybody? Damn, like those babies, I always think it's that dude's baby. Every fucking time, no matter how, it could be the 12th nigga. Ooh. Like, she's like, I'm bringing my 12th nigga out here, and this is the one more, this is what the test is gonna come back in my favor. And I'm looking at, when they show the baby and they show the dude, you know, and the dude's always blanking, you know. But when they show the baby and they show the dude, I'm like, you know what? It might be his baby.
Yeah. It might be. Cause, and then some of them go to the extreme. Somebody had carved in the back of his head, it ain't my baby.
He said, I am not the father.
That's right, I am not the father.
But it's just weird because when I look at that show, I'm always just like, did God make every baby look like everybody? Was that the whole, like, could it be like an Asian baby and a black dude and I still would be like, yep. Mm-hmm.
They look alike. Mm-hmm.
He got your
Anybody
face.
come from anybody.
Look at that nose. Look at that nose. That's you, brother. Just be a man. Step up.
I know. I'm already angry at the dude.
You ever watch that show at all, Mr. Player Hater?
Hell no.
Well, I won't lie, man. We just got Uverse, which is this different type of cable. It's through our phone company. And there's an app on my iPhone where I can, like, record things remotely. So I'll be at work or something, and I'll scroll through, like, hey, what's on? Maybe I'll see an interesting documentary or something. And the last, like, maybe 2 or 3 things I've recorded at work have been episodes of Maury. And it's the title. The title gets me every time because it's always like, she is half your age, and I will prove that you are not the father of my child, or some shit like that. So I'm like, that's gonna be interesting.
Let's see what happens, Murray.
I remember watching those when we were younger.
Yeah.
And Maury,
Jerry Springer got hot.
Yeah, Jerry Springer. But Maury used to give a fuck. Like, he used to seem like he was trying to get that lady's problem solved.
Now
this nigga starts in the middle of the fucking scenario. He don't even build up anymore. It's just straight up like, we're here with Keisha, and she says Marlon is the father of her baby, of 6-month-old Jamarius Queen, or whatever.
Yeah. But he said he ain't.
Yeah, and then they go right into the clips of, you know, man, she had sex with everybody. I don't know what's trying to bring me up over here. I couldn't have did nothing with her anyway. I did it in the butt. So shit, and it's like, oh. and then the girls always, oh, he did it, Morris. I'm sure it's his baby. He gonna be a man and he gonna take care of his baby. And I don't care what he say, cause he had sex with me and all them other dudes or whatever. And it's like, alright, so they just had an argument. Bring the dude out, and the crowd goes from like 0 to 60 because they just start booing this motherfucker.
Yes, they do.
Every time. It does not matter if it was a preacher. You come out from the back, your ass is boo.
Yes, it's automatic boo going on.
So they
got a boo sign. Everybody say boo.
Yeah, why don't they carry like posters with them? But, so they boo this motherfucker. He comes out there, and you know, they reveal the results, because they don't even make you wait a whole hour.
No.
Like, they're trying to get, it's like the Black Barbershop on Saturday morning. They trying to get like 6 people in and out.
Yeah, the episode, yeah. We got like 7 stories going on.
It's like, Maury just might as well finish the results and go next and just pull in another motherfucker. So,
Hey, Rod, Karen. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I don't fuck with the Maury shit. And the reason, I was sitting here trying to think of a logical way to explain why I don't, but it's real simple. I mean, I just have very low tolerance for ignorance. And if I were to watch Maury, I would, just to erase the amount of ignorance I would get from that show, I would have to read a book a day.
To get your brain cells back.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I just can't take it, man. I really can't. I have zero tolerance for ignorance. I mean, I've reached that level in my life where really my tolerance level is very low, to the point where I know when I get 50 and 60, I'm going to be the cranky old man on the block chasing the kids away. I already know that. I already know that.
Tell them to get off your lawn.
Pull your pants up.
Yeah.
You know, the thing is, man, and the reason I enjoy trash TV every once in a while is, I need people to judge. I don't know why. it just makes me feel good about myself.
Don't you be better? I'm like, that's not right.
It's like, oh, my life is going good. I'm glad I put that money in the 401k this week. Like, it just make you just appreciate the shit that you're doing right. I mean, my life ain't glamorous, but it is not nearly as fucked up as any of them people on Maury, and I could just take solace in that for like an hour every like 2 or 3 days, you know. But you've never seen an audience go from 0 to 60 faster than when they booed a dude, and you've never seen them go from 60 to 0 faster than when the results say he ain't the father.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they turn on the woman so fast.
Yeah, this shit get booed.
Like people are damn near crying on her side. They're cursing and like they curse so much on. First of all, who the fuck are these guest members?
I have no idea, cause you can't hear beep, beep, and they're not even talking. Nobody on stage is talking. All
it's just the audience. They're bleeping the audience. It's like they pulled in the Oakland Raiders fans or some shit and just straight up put them in the audience. But so like they're cursing and shit, and then you find out that, you know, okay, the girl is the one who's lying. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, and the dude starts dancing and shit. The girl goes back. Everybody's calling her a slut. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? And she's like, and then Maury does the most half-assed, like, we're gonna get you some counseling, and do you want us to continue to help you try to find your father? Or find the father of your child? And of course he wants to do that. It's not out of kindness. It's because he can make another episode out of this trick and be like, now she's back for the 8th time.
Yeah. I forgot what the record is, but the record's kind of high. 10, 12 dudes, and they still ain't found the baby daddy.
Man, if one of them chicks had any game about her, she would say, look, y'all want some free trips to Chicago? Bring the crew through. I'm just going to bring my baby. I know none of y'all the fathers, but we going to Chicago this weekend. You know, wherever they film.
We're going to make one episode with all y'all.
Yeah, no, you just take them on every week.
Yeah, I believe that shit to be true. Most of those people coming straight from the ghetto probably never been out of their hometown. So flying to Chicago is the furthest they've ever gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I believe you.
They put you up in
a free trip, man.
They put you in a hotel. You know, I would be bringing white people on there, Chinese people that ain't never been to America. I'll just be bringing motherfuckers like, dawg, we going back to Chicago this week. Me and my baby on the town.
I'm trying to tell you, you give me tickets to Chicago, I'm burning them.
Yeah, that's my running joke with Karen. Like, after we watch Maury, every once in a while I just say something to her like, you wanna go to Chicago? I thought I got these 2 free tickets. I can't tell you why till we get there. And she does not find that very amusing.
I don't. No, that's not how.
Doesn't have to be Maury. It can be Oprah.
Yeah, it can be Oprah. Maybe we're gonna get a free car.
Now Oprah, yes I would go. Maury, no.
Alright, man, so I saw a movie this morning. It's called The Devil's Backbone. Mm-hmm. It's a foreign movie. It's by Del Toro, the same guy who did Hellboy, the second one.
Okay.
The same guy who he's most famous for Pan's Labyrinth.
I don't think I seen that one.
You didn't see Pan's Labyrinth with me?
I did.
It's about the Spanish girl who goes to live, her mother is pregnant, and they go live on this army base. No? Okay. Alright, well, that Pan's Labyrinth is a really good movie. People listening, check it out.
Cool.
If you're not afraid of reading subtitles, and I really would hope if you listen to this podcast that you're not, cause, you know, I get that it's a little taxing to read them, but
they read all your tweets, so they shouldn't have no problem reading subtitles.
Yeah.
That's what subtitle is, 140 characters or less across your screen.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. So anyway, I watched this one. It's also subtitled, but, it was really, really good. It is a lot like Pan's Labyrinth, except with maybe not as visceral imagery. You know, like some of the things he was trying to display weren't as far out there. Okay. But it's basically like a ghost story and a coming of age story for another orphanage situation with a little boy. And I liked it a lot, man. If I had to give it like out of 10, I'd say somewhere like 8.5 out of 10. It just definitely a great movie, and you know, people should check it out. So
cool.
I don't know if I guess by your silence, I'm guessing the player hater, you haven't heard of this movie or seen it.
No, I never heard of it. Yeah. Nah, I ain't even gonna lie to you and tell you I'm gonna check it out because I probably won't.
Nah, don't worry about it, man. It's on Netflix streaming, So it's like if you have Netflix, it's the great for movie buffs like me, because if I hear a lot about a movie and I see it streaming instantly, I can just play it through my Xbox, my phone, or my computer. So, and I can pause it, you know what I'm saying? So, I like that a lot because it makes it really convenient, for somebody that's in the movies.
Do you think Netflix is the Walmart of videos?
The Walmart of videos? What
Yes,
you mean?
you know how Walmart is one shop stop everything?
They are now. They are now. They put Blockbuster out of business. So, if you want to rent a movie, you go to your grocery store, you go to Redbox, that's Netflix.
It is?
Yeah, that's Netflix. So, they pretty much made it easy as possible. Yeah, they'll mail it to your house, or you go to the grocery store where you gotta go anyway, and you can pick up some movies. You go to Walmart, you can pick up a movie. It does not get any easier than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
They shot Blockbuster.
Yeah, they some bad motherfuckers. Alright, man, so let's do some news. Apparently, the U.S. apologizes for infecting Guatemalans with STDs in the 1940s.
What?
Yeah. And this is part of the reason I'll never really be down with that ultra-conservative right-wing part of the country that's like, you can never say anything bad about your own country. Cause if this shit ain't fucked up and I can't say it, then what's the point of being in a place with free speech?
That's true.
So, let me read this. And the other thing that's funny about this is like, the U.S. has to apologize, but we apologize now. So like, none of the motherfuckers that made this decision
are even around. A lot of them are dead. 1940s. Yeah. They long gone.
Alright, the United States apologized Friday for a 1946 to 1948 research study in which people in Guatemala were intentionally infected with sexually transmitted diseases.
Why would they do that? I'm very confused.
I don't know. A statement by Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, the Secretary of Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Sebelius, called the action reprehensible. We deeply regret that it happened, and we apologize to all individuals who were affected by such aberrant? I don't know.
Close enough.
Such terrible research practices.
Thank you.
The joint statement said, the conduct exhibited during the study does not represent the values of the United States or our commitments to human dignity and great respect for the people of Guatemala. President Barack Obama called the his Guatemalan counterpart Friday, offering profound apologies, asking pardon for the deeds of the 1940s. President Alvaro Colón called CNN en Español in a telephone interview from Guatemala City. Though it happened 64 years ago, it really is a profound violation of human rights, said Colón, who said the report took him by surprise. Clinton called him on Thursday. He said she too offered apologies, adding that she told him that she was ashamed that the United States had been involved in the matter. First of all, they apologize like celebrities apologize. Like, I'm sorry if you were offended by the actions that happened. Like, take some fucking responsibility. Like, you can't even say, I'm ashamed that we did this to you. We're ashamed we were involved in the matter. That's like Ben Roethlisberger telling the girl he raped, I'm ashamed that I was involved in that rape. Nigga, you the rapist. Of course you should be ashamed.
Had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Who else did this? Somebody else?
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Hey, with this apologizing, I would like to apologize to one of my ex-girlfriends, Paula. 5 years ago, I pissed in the kitchen sink.
Well, no, you need to apologize for the actions that were involved in pissing in the kitchen sink. I mean, come on, it's only so much responsibility.
The bathroom, and it's not my fault. She was taking too long in the bathroom, taking a shower. I had to piss, so the kitchen sink was right there. So I just had to.
Yeah.
No, you don't apologize to her. You apologize to the sink.
Well, if she was offended by that, then I apologize for her taking offense. The sink was offended. Alright, so anyway, Michelle told us that she wanted us to talk about that. I'm not reading all this shit because it's way too long, and the point should be that, what the fuck are we doing? We did this shit with the Tuskegee experiments to black people, and it's like the Eddie Long thing. Once one came out, you knew that wasn't the end of it.
No.
You know they didn't just fuck with niggas. We was fucking with everybody that wasn't white. Speaking of fucking with people that wasn't white, this article came out September 27th and we didn't talk about it. It's by LaShawn Williams. And by that name, I'm going to say it's probably a woman.
Okay.
She wrote an article called 8 Reasons to Date a White Man. And,
You only got 8? I thought that list would be a lot longer. Everybody complain about how black men ain't no good.
Yo, for black men not to be any good, man, we do marry each other at the highest rate of any other race. I don't know if people know this, but the percentage of black women marrying black men is extremely high. But there's some very inflammatory pictures attached to this article. The first one is of a black woman in a white suit, a white man in a black suit, and then a black man in a white suit in the background looking at the camera longingly like, why can't I be with her? So, I don't know if this is the new reality. But the number one reason that apparently you need to date a white man is they are open wide instead of down low. Gay white men tend to be more forthcoming about their sexuality with friends and family. The down low phenomenon is less prevalent, which preserves the battery usage on your gaydar and relieves the stress of dissecting every male relationship.
That's some BS. There are white dudes that are down low too. And on top of that, if anything in you as a woman says, I sound like I'm talking to my best friend, he's gay. What is wrong with women? I don't have to see you doing anything to realize if I'm talking to you, you go, yeah, honey, child, you is gay. I'm sorry.
Child food. I'm just saying.
See? Prime example. I might even be married to one. He's 37% gay off our test. We took a test, Mr. Player Hater, and found out the rod is 37% gay.
Yeah, apparently the Christian, whoever did that test designed it so that it is impossible to get 100% on that motherfucker.
Yeah, they did.
They was throwing shit that had nothing to do with it. It's like, if you like to watch porn, he's gay. Damn! Can a brother do anything? Damn.
I gotta put 2 chicks down.
I wonder why I don't go to church, man. Matter of fact, Eddie Long would have probably not answered any of those questions yet, which means he would have been 0% gay. If you think about that quiz, you know what? We will revisit that quiz one podcast because I guarantee he would have passed that test with flying colors. And I seen the pictures. That nigga gay. Alright, so here's the thing about the gay thing. There's a lot of on the low, down low white people, but they just don't have good slang. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't help that black people have good slang and we came up with a term for it.
True.
I think white people just call it being a Republican senator. But in general, they had the same phenomenon in their society.
Yes, they do.
You know?
It's not just a black thing.
Like, just because you come out the closet at 50 and you got 4 children and your political career is now through, does not mean that the shit don't happen to white people. That is very retarded for her to say.
Exactly. I mean, I think, dealing with the relationship talk thing that I do on a daily basis, I get tired of hearing it because black women, and I'm not disparaging black women at all, but just talking to them, they always complain about black men, they complain about the down low brothers, and I agree with you, you got down low white dudes as well, but I mean, and they make it seem as though they're the only ones that are going through this, and they always compare themselves to white women. Well, white women don't have to deal with these. How do you know what white women got to deal with? And I get tired of hearing it because, your situation is no different from anyone else's situation. Everyone goes through shit.
Yep. I agree, man. And, number 2.
Okay.
White men are not looking for someone to take care of them.
Word. You think there ain't no white bombs? Word.
Thanks to the absence of family, fathers, and marriage in the black community, a great number of our men have backward expectations when it comes to romantic relationships. A higher percentage of white men come from stronger family structures and more traditional gender roles, where the men seek to take care for the women.
And the person that wrote this, you're under the assumption that all white men are rich. What the hell?
Well, here's the thing. How does she define take care of somebody? Because if you're saying take care financially, if that's how you define being taken care of, then maybe you do have a point, because on the whole, black women make more than black men. Now I may find that ridiculous, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? If you want to say that it's only financially, then I say that's probably one of the reasons that your ass is in a lot of fucked up relationships in the first place, because you can't look past money. But forget that. Let's just say this. What about having the house clean? What about cooking? What about the household chores? And if you're going to talk about gender roles, and you're saying that, well, they have better defined gender roles or more conservatively defined gender roles that come from family structures and tradition, then that means he expects your ass to have some food on the table when he gets home.
Say that again.
Is that not taking care of his ass? Like, what does that not count? Because he got money? I don't get that. Like, so you're basically saying my services are for sale. You got some money, then I don't mind cleaning up the fucking house. You know what I'm saying?
But I ain't doing it for no broke niggas.
What perspective is she coming from? And I know you probably don't know the answer, but it all depends on her personal perspective. Has she dated white dudes and made a fair comparison? Or is she just speculating that since it's so fucked up on this side, things gotta be better on the other side?
And well, what's weird is like even, and this happens a lot with relationships and even, relationship advice, people still at the end of the day are talking for themselves. And if we don't recognize that you're actually talking to not only that person, but to their past experiences. But their past experiences compared to the vast amount of experience in the world is a drop in the fucking bucket. You know what I'm saying? That's why I very rarely give relationship advice, because I don't know what the fuck is going on in your house, your home, your upbringing. All I know is how my shit works. I can tell you the closest I can guess for you. At the end of the day, I don't have to deal with any of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you come to me and say my woman beats me, I can only tell you like, man, that sounds like some shit you should probably go to the cops with. But I don't know how to deal with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. And even if I...
And that's what cracks me up. Yeah, and that's what cracks me up. I ain't mean to
go ahead.
That's what cracks me up about these so-called relationship experts. Trust me, I would never consider myself a relationship expert. I talk about relationships, but I'm not an expert at all. I would be like you, Rod. I'm just like, yo, if he's whooping your ass, leave. Report him to the police and then pack your shit up and leave. I can't give you any more advice than that. I mean, because I had this dude, ask me, well, I want to meet more women. What can I do to meet more women? And my answer is always going to be straight and logical. If you want to meet more women, go talk to women and just be yourself. That's all I can tell you. I ain't going to tell you run game on this chick or you got to do this, take out the dinner and bring a flight. You ain't got to do all that.
Yeah, I agree.
No, I mean, I know that's what he wants. That's what he wants to hear, but you don't have to do that. That's not my experience. So I'm not going to tell you to take a woman out to dinner and buy her flowers and open the car door, because you really don't have to do all that.
Dude, my theory for, like one day I want to write a relationship book, right? And my theory on relationship books is this is why they sell. You act like you know what you're talking about, and then you blame the person who is buying your book for their own problems. And if you can successfully do that, they will buy your books. And, you look at some of the highest selling books, it's like, he's not that into you. You know what I'm saying? It's think like a man, act like a woman. It's telling your ass to do some shit. So I want to come out with a book called, listen, you, dumbass. Yes, you the one buying this book. Woman, you are the problem. And then I guarantee I will have the best selling book of all time. The more disparaging it is to the person buying the book.
Yeah.
Because if I can convince you that your situation is your fault, then I'm also convincing you that the way out is through your own actions and that you have control over everything that happens to you.
And the sad part about it,
you can't be too... Right, I agree. You can't put the logical point out front. You have to put the ignorant shit out front. Let them know, look, you fucked up and you're going to stay fucked up. But if you want to get your shit right, this is what you need to do. But yeah, the negative shit needs to be out front, and then the logical shit needs to be in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so point number 4. We might not get to the rest of the news because this shit is kind of interesting. We might just end it with this thing. Attend and graduate from college. So white men, they go to school and they graduate from school. Black women are graduating from college and black men continue to drop out. As a result, degrees become intimidating when dating black men. In white culture, education is valued and expected. Thus, white men have no problem dating educated women with advanced degrees. It is impressive rather than intimidating.
Whoever wrote this article has never seen country bumpkins. I'm sorry, you have never been down here, and I'm not racist or anything, but seeing like purebred country tobacco chewing out in the redneck white people down here. A lot of them could care less about education.
And honestly, a degree is intimidating to anyone who's insecure.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what color you are. You can be white and be insecure.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And her what's funny about this point is that her entire basis is that it's not that they don't have insecurity. It's that, they will have done better than you at life. so they will not be intimidated because you'll still be below them in their mind. So they're not even saying like, oh, you'll be considered and respected as an equal. It's, yeah, you got a degree, but I'm a white man. I can handle that shit.
I will laugh at your degree, nigger.
You're still black, so I'm not worried about you being smarter than me. That's ridiculous. Number 4, at least attempt to marry before making babies. So, and now this is a weird picture because this is the gayest looking white dude I've ever seen. Hugging on a black woman in a wedding dress, and that is not gonna end well, is all I'm saying. He might need to go back to point number 1 about living on the down low. For whatever reason, white men just don't have children sprinkled all over the world like black men. If they do, most of them are married to the mother at some point. Sure, they divorce, but you can only divorce if you at least attempt a marriage. And this is one of my biggest problems with women in general, not just black women, but marriage is not a fucking goal.
No.
You can't put it on your resume. It's not a career path.
Right.
It's something that happens when two people have certain feelings for each other, and you can't force that shit. And if you just live your life going, well, at least I was married, then you're gonna be at least I was divorced too, because it's the dumbest fucking thing you can do.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And make that mistake. And it's crazy. I mean, I talk about it all the time. Nobody's promised to be married. I mean, some of these women mainly women that I hear saying this, like, and like the chick on one of my last shows talked about, at least I can say I was married. Why would you even want to say you were married? The marriage was fucked up. I wouldn't want to admit that shit. I would rather not be married than tell somebody I was married in a fucked up relationship.
Yeah, it is the equivalent of saying, I got raped. At least I can say I had sex. No, you did it wrong. You fucked up. You did the wrong shit. Do the right shit and do it right, or don't do it at all. It's ridiculous. They don't glamorize ignorance. They may listen to rap music, but they are smart enough not to act out. The thug life is not something to be aspired. White men have a firmer grasp on what really defines manhood.
Wow.
Let me tell you what defines ignorance. The Tea Party. You see any niggas in that shit? No. You know what I'm saying? Like, it depends on what you define as ignorant. You know?
Yeah, she's just assuming that rap music is ignorant, and it's not that. And not only that, especially the younger culture, people will never admit black people don't have nothing, don't own nothing, but we influence American society is what we quote unquote call cool.
Right.
And so, you know, it's why do you have white women getting booty operations or getting breast operations? Why? Because they want to be black, but they don't want to be black. You want to be black as far as features, but and you get tans and you spray your skin tone darker, but you don't really want to be a nigga.
Right.
And that's the same thing. Like,
well, they want to be black, but they don't want to be a nigga.
That's right. Because that's right. I mean, and that's when you call it. To me, that's ignorant.
Well,
just be happy in your own.
Exactly. I think we all are looking for that experience in America. We would all like to be black, but exempt from the nigga clause.
Yeah.
You know, if I get pulled over in South Carolina at the dark, I hope they let me go.
Yeah, because my thing is that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, player.
Oh, no, it's all good. I'm just agreeing with you on the nigga part. I don't mind, being black and claiming to be black, but I don't want to be a nigga.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that just be comfortable in your own skin, and ignorance goes beyond, just different territories.
Well, it's funny because the kind of ignorance, it depends on how you define it. If there's racial, like, you can be ignorant and be the whitest motherfucker on the world, but you can still be ignorant. It's just that if you're gonna only define ignorance by, say, a tattoo or listening to Jay-Z, then you're gonna think a lot of people are ignorant, but that just makes you ignorant, ironically.
Yes, it does, because a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, it says number 6, financial planning and stability. So white people, white men specifically, plan for finances and, being stable in the future and shit. Here's my question about that. Why aren't you doing that for your motherfucking self? Why you waiting on any man, black, white, green, to come in your life, straighten up your finances, and get you stable? You ridiculous bitch. What is wrong with you? Get your shit together.
Invest in your own 401k.
Yeah, you sitting around waiting on fucking Superman to come in and swoop in and save you. You manage your own money, okay? And then even if you get with a motherfucker that can't manage money, then why don't you handle the finances?
Yeah.
Stop looking to hand off the responsibility to somebody else. And most of all, like I said before, any reason, is a good reason not to have a relationship. Any reason you don't want to start one. So if a motherfucker ain't got his money right and that's the problem, just don't get with him, regardless of race. What does that matter, white or black? Like, you can marry a white dude with a fucked up credit rating, but when y'all get together, he gonna fix his shit. Come on. Number 7, have the ability to look beyond your past. Ever wonder why white people can date friends of exes and so on? It's because they don't let the past hinder the present. Promiscuous black men think they deserve to settle down with virgins, allow past relationships to haunt the present. Not white men. They have no problem turning their hoe into a housewife.
Word. That has nothing to do with color skin. That has something to do with people's personality. There's a lot of people, regardless of color skin, that can't get past people's past.
I mean, Shaq is marrying hoops, okay? I think we're a little past the hoes can't be housewives thing. But even more important than that is, in her own sentence, she's calling women who have had sex with other men and their husband hoes. This is her writing this article. So she says they have no problem turning a hoe into a housewife. There's no quotes around this. This is her sentence of, yeah, you're a hoe, but don't worry, you get a white man, they don't give a fuck.
Right.
This bitch, she apparently watched a few too many Julia Roberts movies or whatever. Like,
wow.
She watched Pretty.
Yeah.
She watched Pretty Woman.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, that is embarrassing on everybody's part right there. And I mean, the thing is, I guarantee you know some dude that is married or in a relationship with a chick that has, you know, had sex with maybe somebody he knows or been in a relationship with somebody he knows. That's up to that individual if they're secure enough to take that on. That's not a black or a white thing. There's no race attached to that.
Yep.
You know, so I mean, I don't know. You gotta broaden your horizons. It's like Cat Williams said, if you think niggas ain't shit, then maybe you keep fucking with ain't shit niggas. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she needs to look at her pool of what kind of black men she's going after. Her last point is, don't take everything as a challenge to their masculinity. And I guess what she means by this is, intimidation and insecurity are two reasons for the rift between black men and women. As a result, their insecurities and low self-esteem, black men are intimidated by the strength of an educated and ambitious black woman, rather than seeing her as a strong teammate. She is a threat to their manhood. Thus, they feel the need to overcompensate. White men, on the other hand, are more secure. What black men see as threatening is what makes a great wife and business partner to them.
And isn't it sad, but all these make me think you've never dated a white dude.
Well, or whatever she's done is still a drop in the bucket. That's her experience.
And it's not every scenario.
Right. Well, here's what's weird to me. Here's what's really weird. If this shit is true, then why aren't white men just pursuing black women all left and right? Why is it that percentage? Why am I not walking out of my house every day and going, damn man, they're taking all the sisters? It seems like they're the perfect compatible people.
Going by her.
Obviously, there's no black men.
Reasons?
Yeah, obviously, there's no black men that fit any of these descriptions. It's just white people. So,
but then, Rod, are you sure you black then?
I don't know.
Are you blackface and didn't tell me?
I'm gonna go check in the mirror because none of this shit applied to me. I'm feeling like maybe I'm not black enough for her.
No, maybe I married the white dude.
Yeah, the white guy who tips now.
Yes.
I don't.
Black. Rod is black, but like he told me once before, he's the safest black dude in the world. I know it.
I am the safest Negro, you know. I do maintain that. But I don't know, dude. I just find this incredulous that pretty much what you've learned if you read this is that the way this lady defines blackness in men is being weak, easily intimidated, and, obviously, not strong in the mind, and, having bad finances, being ignorant. Like, she's just defining every negative quality as exclusive to black men.
Exactly.
And,
exactly. I made her point. She could have made her point a lot better without making the comparison to white men. I think the comparison to white men wasn't necessary at all. She could just point out some things the way she feels about black men and leave it at that. I thought the comparison was totally unnecessary.
It's sad because in this like sexual war between the genders with black men and women that only seems prevalent on the internet or is being created. I don't know if it's even being created, but it's being glorified by a lot of the media that we have. You know, Steve Harvey's making a living off of it. What was that 2020 documentary or something where they had the why black women can't find a black man and all this shit. Like, they're making money off this shit. And I peep the hustle. You know what I'm saying? I peep that y'all are making money off of this shit and whatnot, but it's just funny because there's this war going on, quote unquote, but I don't really feel it. I don't really see it. Like, when I go out and when I hang out with black people, white people, whatever, I'm not feeling this like white people do this, black people do this, and it's become, the white woman and the white man has really become a weapon to be used against each other in this war. It's, well, I'm gonna get a white man, or a white man wouldn't do this, or, you know, man, white women is coming up now, man, I'm telling you, white women do this. Like, it's just something you're using to hurt the other side.
And not only that, I think it's this false or fake anger. Like when Tiger Woods cheated on his wife, people was not really mad that Tiger Woods cheated on his wife. They was mad at other issues, but yet they used that as a front. But when you talk to the fans could give a damn, and they were still cheering for him. Where's this false, fake anger that the media said that everybody had? That's the same thing with this. The anger's not there. Yeah. People want you to think anger's there, so that you think anger's there, so that they can show they was right on some false anger.
Yeah, I agree completely.
Which is stupid.
Alright, let's do a couple news things. We'll get out of here. I'm gonna cut some of them off. Sultan youth pastor accused of sex with teen. Sultan, Washington. Sultan youth pastor and a part-time football coach is under investigation, accused of having a sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl. He was a white man, so I don't know what this does for that survey we just took, but Snohomish County Sheriff's Office is investigating a 31-year-old married man whom a pastor and school superintendent fired after they said he confessed to the relationship. I thought he was a good coach. I thought he cared about the kids, said the school district superintendent. Now, technically, neither one of those things have been proven right or wrong. I would actually say maybe this made him a better coach, and he probably really cared about the kids a little too much.
Yeah, too much. Hands-on. He really hands-on. Too much. And let go a little bit.
He tried to become a life coach.
Yes.
Yeah, now see, there you go. All white dudes are pedophiles. See, that's what I'm saying, right there.
You don't have to worry about that in the black community unless you date a preacher.
That's right.
Catholic said he was surprised when a parent came forward in August claiming the married 31-year-old coach had a relationship with a 17-year-old student. He met with our investigator and some school personnel and just denied it. The girl, who graduated last spring, also denied the relationship. Chaplick said, but 3 weeks later the coach apparently changed his story. Senior pastor Ed Lehman of the Hillcrest Baptist Church said that the coach, who was also a youth pastor at the church, confessed to the relationship. Damn, this nigga was a pastor too? That of course has been very shocking and very much disbelief to our congregation. Lehman said the man's wife had intercepted at least one text message exposing inappropriate contact with the teenage girl. That's gotta be some type of naked picture there or something.
Yeah, penis picture, something.
Yeah. Lehman said he immediately turned over the information to authorities and fired him. We are a church in this community and we took that very seriously. So that is one church that goes harder than New Birth, apparently.
Way too hard.
They have a higher standard than Eddie Long's church because they still let that nigga preach today. Framingham cop, a whiz on the job.
Okay.
Now you know they're trying to be clever with this title somehow, so we're gonna find out.
Yes, let's see.
An on-duty Framingham police detective accused of pulling over to relieve himself in a private yard, then drawing his gun on the home's resident, has been indicted on criminal charges, said the DA. Detective Scott Brown, 38, of Minden, was charged with assault with a dangerous weapon and making threats stemming from an April 29th incident taking place on private property in Framingham. Prosecutors say Brown, who was on duty but not in uniform, driving an unmarked vehicle, got out and began to urinate. So look,
you could go to the bathroom at McDonald's?
First of all, dude, you couldn't find a sink? Even the player hater found a sink, okay? Yeah. But second of all, this dude got out of the car in regular clothes and it was an unmarked car. Of course you look like a regular motherfucker pissing on my yard.
Yeah, you do.
Not that a cop pissing on my yard is any more acceptable, but, you know.
Well, at least with a cop car, I can identify you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Who wouldn't have came out their yard and be like, hey, what the fuck? You know? I mean, and if you a cop, I still want the badge number.
That's true now.
Pissing on my yard. What's that? What's
killing the grass.
Yeah. There wasn't even no 15-year-old girls around. This is ridiculous. Prosecutors say Brown was on duty. Okay. Brown allegedly told the woman to stop looking and return to his cruiser. It's like, stop looking at my dick, bitch. I'm trying to piss. Returned to his cruiser. Her husband, upon hearing the commotion, drove over in his golf cart and stopped next to... What is this? Are they rich? Drove over in his golf cart. It's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Well, they got 15 acres of land. What's going on here?
He stopped next to Brown as he was pulling away. The two exchanged words, and Brown then got out and drew his firearm, pointed at the victim and said, "Move it or get shot." The wife called 911. A video surveillance camera on the property captured the incident.
Yeah, these some rich folks.
They got him on tape.
Yeah, you can put it like this. If you gotta drive golf carts to get from one side of your property to the other side, you got a lot of yard.
Yeah. Oklahoma City District pushes pause on hip-hop curriculum.
Oh, I didn't know they had hip-hop curriculum.
Apparently, there's concern over a new hip-hop curriculum that refers to the founding fathers as old dead white men. And it has delayed the program's rollout for at-risk students. So they're only doing this for students who are at risk, and I'm assuming at risk is probably students who are like either about to drop out or kind of having trouble in school.
Okay. My definition of hip hop and theirs different.
Old dead white men?
Yeah, cause last time I heard of old dead white men didn't have nothing to do with hip hop.
Well, here's what's funny. There's a white dude teaching this class. Now, is that not ignorance and glorifying hip hop? That I don't know what is.
Maybe I'm wrong.
He's not relationship material.
I thought it was like Jam Master Flash and them folks. Maybe I'm misunderstanding hip hop.
Maybe. We're making sure that whatever we do no harm. The science behind the concept is wonderful. There may be some things, though, that are inappropriate and we need to be careful about. Known as vocabulary.
Did they make this up?
Oh, shit. Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Love that.
Oh, my God. The program is music-based. Educational tool that uses raps, rhythms, and rhymes to help students learn and memorize everything from vocabulary and English to math and social studies.
That's all you had to do. Why you got to call it a hip-hop class?
You know, I think I support this. I think I support the fact that, look, we're not reaching these students. Maybe we can find another way.
True.
I know a lot of people don't like when we do this in the school system.
But it's almost like whatever it takes, man. I'd rather you do this, they catch on, they go and be something.
Yeah.
And you don't take the time to do this, then, I got whip right there robbing me.
Yeah, we really do diss public schools and say, oh, private schools where you want to put your kids. Why do we say that? It's because private schools actually reach out to kids and find a way to get to those individuals so they can learn. And of course, because you're paying them directly.
That's right.
Like, this is a public school taking on this cause. I don't think I can be mad about this.
And I love that name.
I mean, I want to learn some vocabulary now.
I know. Where do I sign up?
I'm gonna become a teacher. I just don't think we were real careful when we deployed it. Not all the parts are real effective for the more troubled youth. One of the rap songs, Old Dead White Men, chronicles the shortcoming of early leaders in the United States.
But they are old and dead. I don't understand.
President James Monroe's tenure, the rap says, white men getting richer than Enron. They stepping on Indians, women, and blacks. The era of good feeling doesn't come with the facts. Damn, that's a little too hard. That's some Chuck D shit. That's a little too hardcore for these kids.
They're going straight to the jugular. We gonna tell y'all niggas the truth.
The Dead Prayers wrote these.
Yeah, it did.
Followed up by an assessment of President Andrew Jackson's checkered dealings with American Indians. Now, I will say this. I've seen a documentary on Andrew Jackson. That was a bad motherfucker. I mean, he was gangster. Like, he was not the typical white dating material. Cause in that article, he might have been against every one of those things that woman was about. Let's see. Andrew Jackson thinks he's a tough guy, killing more Indians than there are stars in the sky.
Good God.
Evil wars of Florida killing the Seminoles, saying hello, putting Creek in the hellholes. Like Adolf Hitler, he had the final solution. No Indians, I don't want you to live here anymore. Damn. This shit is hard.
Hey, didn't Theo and Cockroach do this on the Cosby Show back in the day?
I think they did, but it was not as hard as this shit. they like, even Theo and them couldn't go this hard. They upbringing was a little too good. They couldn't think of anything about the Holocaust.
Did they not want to be corny, so they just went to the other extreme?
Yeah, well, fuck the rest of this article, but I like that idea. Let's see. Meet the billionaire banana heir who calls himself Cobra McJingleballs. Justin Murdoch, billionaire Dole Foods heir and Avril Lavigne's ex-boyfriend, faces a sexual harassment suit for calling an employee a whore, telling her to suck his dick, and requiring her to start a Facebook account for him as Cobra McJingleballs. Am I the only one that thinks this dude is awesome? This is exactly what I would do with $1 billion.
McJingleballs. I'm sorry, I can't get past that name.
The 38-year-old billionaire runs with Young Hollywood. He dated Avril Lavigne, y'all already said that. Got into a bar brawl with Brandon Davis, and is, according to his employee Carissa Schumacher, an epic jerk. Carissa she must be a white girl. He was an epic jerk. Carissa was the director of corporate development for one of Dole Foods subsidiaries and has, according to page 6, accused Justin of the following. Forced her to open a Facebook account for him under the name Cobra McJingleballs, which was filled with graphic images, including a minstrel show actor in blackface, an old black and white photo of men dressed in Ku Klux Klan robes. Wow. Told her.
Because he ain't care at all, did he?
He's either the funniest white dude. Man, none of these white dudes are dateable. Man, that girl had it all wrong.
Yeah, she did.
Told her, you look like a whore, and said, you need a good pounding. Murdoch also allegedly showed her a pornographic film and said, you know you love it. Told of his sexual exploits in the graphic detail and simulated sex acts in meetings. Oh my God.
Wow, he was off the chain. This is what happens when nobody tells you no ever in your life.
Oh man. It's crazy though, because it's still funny because he's not intimidated by a strong black sister. That is amazing.
At all, is it?
He demanded that she buy flights and hotel rooms for young interns. He planned to feature an ad on Nova RX. I don't know what that means.
That's facial creams and stuff.
So, but I don't get why does it matter if she had to buy flights and hotel rooms for them? Or was it out of her own pocket?
It may have been.
I don't know. Defined her job as being under my desk, sucking my dick.
Wow.
What does she do here? She's basically under my desk, sucking my dick. You know how I do it. Cobra McJingleballs, bitch. I'm out. Threatened her life, saying, if Nova RX fails, I'll put you at the bottom of the Pacific Ocean in concrete boots.
Wow.
He also ordered her to book sex dates for him on her credit cards. Does that mean prostitutes, or do guys that do date Hollywood starlets just call them sex dates as a matter of course? I think that was an editorial comment. But, yeah, that's a little amazing.
Out.
Let's see, we got 2 more articles here. Apparently some parents were taping their kid to the wall as a means of keeping the little boy, good. So what they did was take this duct tape and tape his hands to the wall. They had another picture where they taped like a thermos to the wall and you can see him trying to get to his bottle.
Now that's child abuse.
Yeah, that's fucked up. And they are white. So
yeah, and it's bright green tape too.
I'm only bringing up the fact that they white because of that article, by the way. I really could care less, but you know, white people fuck up too is all I'm saying. And they said the couple was high after a night of partying and taped him to the wall for entertainment. Then they posted the pictures on Facebook. So
I use it for real. Being white don't make you right, lady. Oh, you have been lied to.
You think you can help that relationship out, Mr. Player Hater?
I don't
I can't
like his
help
comments.
Nah, I don't have any advice for meth addicts.
Mario, you know what's also funny? When people always say when they get high, they always say they were partying. Like, no, nigga, you was getting high. Don't try to.
Exactly.
I partied before and I came home sober as a motherfucker sometimes.
What straight?
So don't hit me with that shit like, oh, you know, we was high because we were partying. Oh, it's the only way I can party. Let's see. Singer Mario. Let's see. Mario should know better than putting his hands on a woman, especially his mother.
Oh.
Mario, the platinum-selling R&B singer, was arrested in Baltimore this morning for allegedly assaulting his own mother in the apartment they share.
This nigga sharing an apartment with his mama, and he a multi-platinum.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is one of the black men that woman was talking about. According to police, Mario's mother, Shantia Hardaway, a former heroin addict, told cops the former Dancing with the Stars contestant had been throwing and damaging property and pushing her around with his hands and forearms. Cops say they found several broken items inside the apartment, including a broken china cabinet, a busted mirror, and a hole in the closet door. Mario's mother also told the police the 24-year-old singer had attacked her earlier in the week, in which he pushed her 8 feet into a living room wall where Mrs. Hardaway hit her head on the wall. Wow. This nigga. That is not good. Can't be hitting your mama, man. I don't know what the situation is. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I had to raise my hands to my mama, man. What?
But your mama wasn't a heroin addict, though. So
yeah, you know. So let's get his side of the story, and then we'll wrap up the podcast after this. Let's see what he says. According to a statement from Hassan Murphy, who I guess is Mario's representative or something, Mario is still supporting his mother despite the allegations. This is an unfortunate incident between a loving son and a mother who continues to struggle with a devastating addiction. Anyone who has waged the battle to save loved ones from the forces of drugs knows the irrational behavior that almost always accompanies their actions. Despite the allegations, Mario remains committed to supporting his mother. So, I guess what happened is, you know, some of this involved her being on drugs, and who knows if he was trying to keep her from going to get drugs and doing drugs or what.
Stuff, yeah.
But, you know, when you call the police like that, you know, they always come get the dude.
Yeah, regardless of what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just sad all the way around, dude.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Even if you ain't hitting your mama, then she's a heroin addict. You know what I'm saying? And even if you are, then you're probably doing it to keep off that shit. Like, that is a depressing. And you know Puffy ain't give that nigga no money. He back home living in Baltimore. Like, Puffy, you signed a contract with Puffy, your ass is getting fucked. Ain't nobody made it rich off Bad Boy but Puffy.
Nobody.
He's like a pimp, you know what I'm saying? You leave him, you leave broke. The money stays.
I mean, maybe it was a high-end apartment. Maybe it wasn't like one of your typical apartments. Maybe it was a condo type deal where, you know, it was a nice place. And you know what? I probably had like 3 or 4 expensive cars out front. He put all his money in his vehicles, I'm sure, so that's probably why he's living in this apartment.
Well, I mean, definitely he's not dateable material. He is black, so I'm sure he did not save up for his finances or plan for the future. Of course he wouldn't do that. And, you know, also, I mean, maybe he's living in a nice apartment, but either way, it's in Baltimore, so how nice can it be? I've seen The Wire, you know what I'm saying? I watched all seasons of The Wire, and the high rises in Baltimore can't be that good.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, this has been another episode of the podcast, The Black Guy Who Tips. Let me, you play Mr. Player, you got anything you need to plug coming up, man?
Nah, just got an episode coming out Wednesday. They can tune into the Blog Talk show Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, The Dark Hater myself. I'm going to talk about the fact that I've slept with married women before, so they can tune into that.
Yeah, we were listening to that when like yesterday. We're not finished yet, but we started listening to it on the way back home from getting some sushi. And I guess I gotta let Karen stop listening to it now, cause I don't know. He might be trying to run some game.
Oh. Nah, you see. I don't get a habit of doing it. It's just something that's happened before. She's safe.
I appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. Oh man, I was nervous.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Skype love affair.
Yeah. Got this smooth voice brother calling in.
I know.
No, I'm not. I'm insecure. I'm a black man. I mean, of course I'm insecure.
Y'all sexy and stuff. You know, I ain't the only one to notice that sexy voice.
Yeah, exactly. I'm insecure, man. After this, I'm probably gonna have to hit Karen or something to make myself feel like a man.
And on top of that, his name is Mr. Player Hater. What about that does not turn a woman on?
Player hating?
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, on the real though, on them blog talk shows,
they be loving his name.
They do be loving the player hater name.
Player hater. You sound sexy.
Yeah. Then he start talking all that common sense and logic, and they be like, "This nigga need to go." Alright, man. So, yeah, definitely check out the Player Hater Podcast. Just search the Player Hater Podcast on Google. You can also go to iTunes, search the Player Hater. His podcast will come up, and I'm not joking. It is one of my favorite podcasts.
It's a very good podcast.
I really enjoy it. It's very well edited. I have nothing to add to make it better or worse. Honestly, it's really great.
Yes, it is.
And then, of course, you can always check us out. Just go to iTunes, Podomatic, or Facebook. Search for The Black Guy Who Tips. And, you know, our group will come up on Facebook. You can like it. Actually, Mr. Player Hater will come on there sometimes and post his episodes there. Yeah. So even if you're having trouble finding him, go to our page.
And you can
find updates where he's put his latest episode on there, man.
Yeah, and the same thing with the Podomatic. Roger has him linked to our Podomatic page. So if you can't find him, go to our Podomatic page. You can find him on there too.
Yeah, so definitely do that, and I need to update the blog and put them on there too. But also, don't forget, you can call the show 704-557-0186. We will answer your voicemails and play them on the air, and you know, have fun with whatever topics you guys are bringing to the show, because this is a listener organized and motivated podcast. If we're not interacting with you, then we really don't have shit to do.
Nope.
So
y'all keep us entertained.
Yeah, keep participating, guys. And you know, we always try to reach out and be interactive with our fellow podcasters, and we're gonna bring more of these guys on the air with us and get more of these interviews going, because I think you guys need to hear these people, because they're talented, they're entertaining, they entertain me.
Yeah, and they're good at what they do.
Yeah, I'm not bringing bullshit to you. All these people are good at what they do.
Yes.
And I guarantee you, if you listen to our podcast, you will find some entertainment in their podcast. It is impossible not to. They are so good. Man, I guess that's it. What else I gotta plug?
Twitter.
Oh yeah, follow us on Twitter. I'm at Rodimus Prime.
I'll say that again. What's your Twitter name, Player Hater?
Oh, it's Mr. Player Hater, MR Player Hater.
Yep, and also don't forget to donate to the show. Go to the Podomatic page or go to our blog. Just type in The Black Guy Who Tips. Look on the right hand side on both of those pages. You'll see a PayPal donate button. You know, definitely kick in. We had somebody kick in last week, and we really do appreciate that stuff.
We do.
Keeps the show going.
Yes,
and
it does.
keeps us getting towards our goals. And you know, we appreciate it. So until next time, we'll talk to y'all Wednesday. Love you.
Love you too. Mwah.
Escobar season has returned.
It's been a long time. Been a long time coming. It's life or death with me now. But you know, there's no turning back now. This is what makes me. This is what I am. Feel me?
You can hate me now,
QB,
but I won't stop now.
real niggas.
Cause I can't stop now.
Brave hearts.
You can hate me now,
Come on.
but I won't stop now. Cause I can't stop now. You can hate me now.
Do it now. Do it now. Don't hate me. Hate the money I see. Clothes that I buy. Ice that I wear. Flows that I try. Close your eyes.
Picture me rolling sixes, money folding, bitches, honeys that swollen, the richest. Nas get in ya, most critically acclaimed Pulitzer Prize winner, best storyteller, thug narrator, my style's greater, model data, big threat to a lot of you haters. Commentators ringside try watching my paper, almost a decade, quite impressive. Most of the best is in the essence, but it's rap shit that I stand for, expanding more to the big screen. Bill Gates dreams, but it seems you'd rather see me in jail with state dreams. Want me off the scene fast, but good things last. Like your favorite MC, still making some mean cash. First rapper to bring a platinum plaque back to the projects, but you still wanna hate? Be my guest, I suggest.
Money is power, motherfucker. I got millions of thugs on salary.
Do it now.
You can hate me now, I won't stop, but I won't stop now. Can't stop, cause I can't stop now. You can hate me, you can hate me now.
Do it
I hate
now.
you too, but I won't stop now.
Come on.
Cause I can't stop now.
Come on.
You can hate me now.
Do it now.
You can hate me now.
Do it now. I told you, do it now.
Let's go.
You wanna hate me, then hate me. What can I do but keep getting money? Funny, I was just like you. I had to hustle hard, never give up until I made it. Now y'all saying that's a clever nigga, nothing to play with. Hate on me, I blew, but I'm the same OG. People warn me, when you on top, there's envy. Took my niggas out the hood, but you doubt on us. Saying we left the hood, but can't get it out of us. My bad, should I step on my shoes, give them to you? Here's my cars and my house.